Caleb Williams has had a rough start to begin Bears training camp. He still is having the same issues that plagued his rookie season last year. He's holding on to the ball too long, taking too many unnecessary sacks. He has thrown 3 interceptions. And he also is struggling to get the Bears offense lined up properly, which is something that you don't expect for a second-year quarterback to deal with, especially when you've had OTAs and minicamp, when you've been doing installs, you've been doing walkthroughs. You shouldn't have problems getting the offense lined up. And the panic meter right now for the Bears has to kind of be spiking up a little bit with the struggles that Caleb Williams has had to kick off training camp. Ben Johnson, when he was hired, he had a lot of comparisons to Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan in terms of his brilliancy when it comes to calling plays, being able to elevate the personnel that he's calling plays for. We saw Jared Goff put up MVP numbers the past 2 seasons. Ben Johnson was calling plays up there in Detroit, and the expectation is that he can get Caleb Williams playing up to that potential that made the Chicago Bears draft him first overall over Jaden Daniels. And there is a lot of training camp left to go. He is coming off the best practice of training camp up to this point, but he's had more bad days than he has had good days. And training camp is all about stacking up those good days. So how many good days is Caleb Williams going to be able to put together? Because by the time you get to the end of the preseason and you're a week or 2 away from week 1 of the NFL season, you want your quarterback to be extremely confident. You want him to have command of the huddle. You want some of the issues that he was dealing with last year to kind of not be there anymore. And yet they still are with Caleb Williams. And I don't think that these issues are simply going to go away within the span of a month. I thought that Caleb Williams would have been much better getting the football out quicker. And as I said, it is too early to completely judge him based off 1 week of training camp. But when you've had a whole entire offseason to work on these issues that held you back last year, and yet these issues are still being reported in training camp, and Ben Johnson is snapping on you because you can't get guys lined up, how can the Bears not somewhat be panicked? How can you not somewhat increase the panic button or increase the panic meter on Caleb Williams? Because these are issues that should have been cleaned up. Instead of him taking a step forward, he still has been stagnant. He's no better right now than what he was last season. Now, there have been glimpses of brilliance, like when he ran the 2-minute drill today. He threw a touchdown to Roma Dunze, which is really encouraging, and he was in more command during those 2-minute situations than what he has been up to this point during the first week of training camp. But you need to see more. You really need to see Caleb Williams just completely take grasp and take command of this Ben Johnson offense and run with it. Because other than Travis Hunter, Caleb Williams is my pick to win NFL MVP this year. But if he continues to struggle in training camp, especially when you got to open the season going up against the Minnesota Vikings with a Brian Flores coach defense, if you are struggling early during camp and you don't get these things corrected within the next couple of practice sessions, the panic meter has to end up being sky high for the Chicago Bears. I still feel like the panic meter, some of y'all feel I might be overreacting, but you should at least be able to get guys lined up. It can't be that hard to get guys lined up. That's kind of rookie stuff. When you're struggling to get the play call in at times and guys aren't lined up where they should be properly. Yeah, it's a team sport and guys have to be responsible for themselves. They got to do their jobs, but the quarterback is the captain of the offense. It's your job to make sure that everybody is where they're supposed to be at. Caleb Williams right now, he's increasing the panic on the Bears panic meter right now. You don't see Jaden Daniels having issues getting guys lined up. Hey, the guy that Caleb Williams was drafted to replace Justin Fields, he hasn't had any issues with getting the play calls in and getting guys lined up. And he's playing under a new offensive coordinator and a new head coach, learning a new system. And I haven't seen any report about the Jets offense having the similar issues lining up, pre-snap procedure stuff as what the Bears are having with Caleb Williams right now. And I'm not a Caleb Williams hater. I love me some Caleb Williams, as I said earlier. Outside of Travis Hunter, if I have to pick a realistic MVP winner, I'm going with Caleb Williams. And I still feel that eventually he'll knock off the rust as we progress throughout training camp. I expect to hear more and more positivity around Caleb Williams. This is the best training camp practice that he has had up to this point on Saturday, July 26th. So hopefully when we come back with another training camp update about Caleb Williams, we have more positive things to report on. But Ben Johnson was snapping on him. He was snapping on the entire offense. Ben Johnson has not been happy this first week, this first go-around, to open up training camp for the Chicago Bears. And Caleb Williams has been a major reason why.